living!
He hits it!
Just because.
Hey,
Oh, wait, did he get what I was about to say?
Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my private time, my only opponent. And lately I'm about to limitless, I'm awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered.
Double commit on the
All that fake talk, fear that you flattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Being alive here. As per chance, can he do it again?
Hold on.
Is he gonna get there again? It goes underneath the wall.
Hold on. Is he gonna get it?
They need to be defensive. There might be something actually. Never mind. Wait, CRJ! CRJ! Look, there's 2 seconds left. Wait.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day number 2 of Dakota Collegiate Rocket League Season 3 LAN. It's this is it. This is it, Aqua. This is what it all comes down to. It's the last day. We have 4 grand finals later tonight, and 4 champions will be named, and I sure am excited.
Yeah, and it's especially exciting to see the first Div D champion be crowned. So, I mean, the boys right now, losers finals, are warming up on stage for Div D, and one team will have a shot at the possible bracket reset into, the first ever grand finalist and maybe champion.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is the losers bracket final, so this won't be the grand finals, but the winner of this will make it to the grand final later tonight. It's going to go in order of the divisions, so it'll go, Division D, then C, B, and A. So we'll have 4 losers finals matches, and then once that does happen, we'll be finally getting into our grand finals. And so today, for this matchup that we have here at 9 a.m., I literally sat down, just got here, so cutting it close. But we do have Plague versus Team CTM. Both of these teams have been absolutely fantastic throughout the regular season, and their playoff runs have also, been up to that caliber as well. Especially Plague, who have been, they lost early on in the playoffs, but they're now battling back and going to try and force a bracket reset.
They lost to Team CTM
Yes,
in the playoffs,
sir.
so right now this is a revenge on LAN. I mean, the stakes couldn't be higher. The storylines couldn't be better. It's just up to what team wants it more.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's both of these teams going to have like a chip on their shoulder, right? Plague knows that this Team CTM team is the team that took them and put them down to the losers bracket. Team CTM has to have the confidence, right? They're like, hey, we beat them once, right? Why can't we beat them again? Both of these teams definitely have, definitely some sort of drive going into this, drive to win, stuff like that. As you mentioned with that storyline. So it's going to be super interesting to see what the outcome is this time around. I do know that Team CTM is, they're coming off the loss versus Distortion, and that was a pretty convincing, win for Distortion. So you have to wonder how Team CTM can rebound from that in order to beat this number 1, Plague team that has been so good throughout the regular season.
Yeah, and it's really hard to come off of a loss, especially on LAN. When you lose in that upper bracket final, it is so hard to come back, win the loser bracket final when you already are like, dang, we lost, we have to regain, how do we do it? Oh, now we're facing the number 1 seed, okay, great. And so it's really tough. It's really hard for the lower bracket team that got kicked there from the winners finals to come back and regain. But I think if any team can do it, it's the team that beat the number 1 seed in the first place and threw them down.
And you kind of mentioned it earlier, where it's like it's almost, this is going to be a very weird analogy, but it's almost like in Pokemon, you have different elements that are like, better against each other. I think this might be the case with playstyles, right? You have different playstyles that, are better against different other types of playstyles. And right now we have this like triangle happening, right, between these three Division D teams that are left, right? You have Team CTM that beat Plague, Plague beating Distortion, then beating Team CTM. So again, it's like this, this triangle, like a love triangle type thing.
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Exactly. It's like all these teams have beat each other, and again, if the storyline does continue, hopefully Team CTM can have that same success. But Plague, they're looking to answer back, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and it's tough because like I said, Team CTM did just lose to Distortion, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. It was pretty convincing. Distortion sprinted away with that series, and if Team CTM, they have to regain, they have to start the momentum now, so when they go into that grand final, they hit the ground running. Their offense just starts peeking out of their mind. Defense has to try to shut down them, so it'll be tough, and I think it'll be a good warm-up against Plague, because Plague a very aggressive team as well, but I don't think they're as aggressive as Distortion. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how Team CTM deals with this #1 seed.
That's kind of a funny way to put it, right? As Plague, being the team that they are, being just a warm-up, right? That's kind of a funny way to put it. But that, realistically, if Team CTM does win, that's what this will be, right? Because they just lost in such a way to Distortion. This Plague match, if they do win, will almost be like, a warm-up, right? It's like trying to get ready, trying to prepare. How do we change? What do we do differently to, if and when we do make it to grand finals, what do we do differently?
Yeah, and I was just about to say, if we could get the Division D one, that'd be great. This is the Division B bracket. It's great.
That's okay. We'll have
that. Yeah,
I think we're having some struggles. It's okay.
It's all good. We'll have that Bob's Builders Cargo Space match in a couple series.
Yeah, there we go.
Team CTM versus Plague. So you see, Plague has absolutely destroyed every single team besides Team CTM, and they've only, besides the 4 games that Team CTM took against them, Plague has only lost 1 game other than that. So extremely dominant, and I know all season they were extremely dominant, sweeping almost every team. But then it's crazy to see Team CTM makes it to LAN, beating the #1 seed 4-1, and then just gets 4-0 smacked by Distortion. So if that shows how good Distortion played, numbers speak for themselves.
Right, and again, it's like the only team that Plague has lost to, and we've mentioned it already, is this Team CTM team. I have to wonder, what that mental is like for that Plague team, right? You're going into this one. This is your only loss. Are you confident? Do you view that loss as a fluke? What's your mental going into this, and how do you approach this series? What would you do in this situation?
Yeah, and as somebody that has been in this situation, has been in the lower bracket and had to fight my way back up, and face, in my case, I had to face the team that beat me in the grand finals.
Okay.
But you just gotta clear it out of your head. It didn't exist, never happened, and you're in the losers bracket. Who cares? You just gotta. This is just another game for them, and just move on.
Right. It's gonna be one of those mental battles, right? Because like I said, I just set it up. It's like you lost this team already. What can you do mentally? We always talk about how big the mental is for for this type of thing to happen. So. We do have ranked Disparity versus Dragons up here, which obviously
that will actually never happen.
That actually won't happen anymore, unfortunately. But it's all good. We're trying to figure.
That also probably will never happen. 3 Rocketeers versus Dragons.
Hey, I kind of want to see that happen.
That'd be an interesting game.
Oh my goodness.
No, we have okay.
Well, we have half of it.
We'll talk about Team CTM first. 3.5 goals per game.
Yeah.
But as you see right now, night and day.
Yeah, honestly.
Plague has an insane offensive presence, just like we talked about Distortion yesterday. It looks about the same stats as the Team CTM Distortion one did yesterday.
Right. One thing I will mention, we gotta talk a little bit about the individual players on these teams too.
Mm-hmm.
And the two players I will talk about before we do walkouts and stuff like that are the captains from both of these teams. Both of them have been playing outstanding and have been pretty much the key reason for their team's success. Over on Plague, you have Green Guy, who has been he is for 95% of the league. He was leading the league in almost every single stat, minus a couple of them. He was dominating this league. He was running this league, let alone his team. So he is so key to his team's success, and we saw that yesterday in their match. Everybody needs to be looking for Green Guy to be popping off. He's just so consistent, has very good shooting. He just slots it from everywhere on the field. And then over on Team CTM, you do have Jumbo Kid, who's kind of been one of those boy wonder guys in our league, right? We give him a lot of crap because he's a no ball cam player, but he makes it work. At the end of the regular season, he was leading the league in goals per game without ball cam. And we, as much crap as we give him, we have to give him the props because he's been doing so much for his team and is one of the reasons why they're having so much success.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, you said Jumbo Kid leads in goals per game, but they don't have a lot of goals per game as a team. So the biggest thing is he needs help.
Exactly.
He can't do it all himself. He needs help. And Plague, it's their game to lose, I think.
It is. It really is. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we are ready to do our first team of player walkouts here. And firstly, we are going to be introducing Plague.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first team competing to try to get to the grand finals is Green Guy, Photonut, and the Real Robo. We were very fortunate to steal Green Guy away from League of Legends for just a couple minutes, but we'll see how long that lasts. This is, again, elimination match. They got a lot on the line here, and they need to win 3 best of 7s to be taking home the trophy. So this is just step 1.
It's slowly changing in me. Will you give it to me? Looking at my own reflection, when suddenly it changes, violently changes.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. That was your number 1 seed throughout the regular season. Plague, like I said, led by Green Guy, Photonut, and the Real Robo. So that team was the team to beat. And I think they're looking pretty ready. They definitely have vengeance on their mind, revenge, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the right word, but so I'm definitely looking for them to try and strike back again. This is the only team that they've lost to yet, so we'll see how they do answer back. It's going to be super interesting. Seriously, I'm super excited. I don't know what else to say, but I think we're just going to continue, bringing these guys in. Next up, we are going to welcome Team CTM to the stage.
Team CTM trying to get some revenge on dropping yesterday's match on stage. We got Jumbo Kid, TCV, and Yay. They got their work cut out for them going against the number 1 seed. Life on the line has got a lot of work out for them, but they're staring at those trophies looking very pretty on stage. We'll see if they can bring them home.
All right, there they are, ladies and gentlemen, Team CTM. Both of these teams back on the stage for what could be their last time here. This is the losers final, as Kato did mention earlier. This is an elimination match. Both of these teams only have 1 life as a battle to either make it to the grand finals or be completely done for the rest of the season. So I can't imagine, what type of nerves they're feeling. For me, I feel like if it was 9 a.m., I feel like my brain would just be dead, so maybe I won't even be feeling nerves at all. But
for someone that's played in an early game like this, it's terrible. You are so tired. You're like, I hardly even want to be awake right now, let alone play an elimination game.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things, right? It's like we only have a couple days to do this, and we're faced with the option of either starting at this time or not having as many games on LAN. So it's kind of that give or take, that balance that we were trying to find. So, I mean, we're open to suggestions by any means, but I mean, we're all gamers, right? We hate being up this early, but we make it work, and I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we can't do it much later because we get kicked out at a certain time. So,
exactly. But
and already into this first game, Team CTM versus Plague, and the biggest thing I'm looking for is, I mean, Photonut we haven't given him like enough. I talked about him at all.
True.
Photonut, I mean, is one of the most consistent people in Division D that I've like ever seen. He's always there, always hitting the ball, and he has stepped up immensely from when I played against him way back in the fall season 1. So I'm looking for him and Green Guy to see how much they can do, and then how much. I mean, Real Robo is going to put an impact, and then on the other side, Team CTM. I mean, we already know Jumbo Kid's going to do his thing, but TCV and Yag, it's so close. But TCV and Yags, how much help are they going to give? And because if they're popping off, Team CTM might just run away with this. If they're not, I think this will. Photonut, like I said already, slotting one in, but a great pass here by Green Guy off the back wall. TCV, unfortunately, can't quite beat Photonut. Photonut slots that like always. I mean, that's Photonut just slotting it like always. But that's just the biggest thing is how much help are these teams going to get from each other?
Right, and you kind of mentioned it. It's like, the supporting cast for Green Guy, right? We didn't talk about too much about Photonut in that intro, as well as the Real Robo. He's kind of been one of those quieter guys, but I think he has a larger impact on his team, or a larger impact than more people realize. He might not get the most goals, he might not do the most flashy things, but you definitely can't do it without, a solid third man on your team, right? So, all these team members, while Green Guy, he's carrying in a lot of the other in a lot of the other areas, as Photonut gets another one, a second already here, just a minute and 20 in. But as I mentioned, Green Guy, he can't do it all alone, right? He needs Photonut and the Real Robo to be there, and they're definitely one of the main reasons why they've made it so far.
Yeah, and once again, Photonut slotting it in. Really well of a shot, really good of a shot right there. And now Green Guy unfortunately can't quite get the touch there. Photonut will clear it out of his own corner. Yag's a little awkward, but now Photonut pushing the other way, trying to get in the corner, will steal the boost as well. Passing the ball mid, a little over Robo, but now Green Guy hitting it right back off the backboard to Real Robo, passing it to Green Guy. Unfortunately can't quite get it past TCV, and Yags will get another 50. And now Jumbo Kid trying to go the other way, gonna get 50'd by Real Robo. Real Robo will have an opportunity here against TCV, and Yags unfortunately can't get a basket, gets the pass mid to Green Guy, unfortunately will go off the backboard, and now TCV has a counterattack opportunity, but Photonut will not let that happen. TCV putting it around, but Real Robo is there. I mean, right now Real Robo is looking so good. I mean, all these players on Plague, I think, look very similar in skill, and that's really good to see, especially in the style of draft and stuff that we have in this league. So good on shot by Jumbo Kid.
There we go. A good, like you said, a good shot, or 50. I don't know exactly what that was, but I guess you can kind of count that as a 50 shot. I don't know.
A dookie, I think.
Yeah, a dookie. Okay. Jumbo Kid gets the first here for Team CTM. And one thing I want to mention, on the side of Team CTM, is that, like you said, Jumbo Kid, he definitely has the production offensively, right? He leads the league in goals. And we kind of already talked about it, where it's like, what can TCV and Yags do to try and help support Jumbo Kid in his, in those offensive options. And as I'm saying that, TCV just finds a freebie there. Plague, find the third man there, no one in net, and TCV just slots one from midfield. Oh, maybe a team bump. I think Photonut might have been able to get there if it was a little bit different. But as I was saying, one thing I noticed was TCV and Yags were both playing so defensive when we watched them yesterday. I'm looking for one of either TCV or Yags to be a little bit more aggressive. It doesn't matter which one. I'm just looking for one of them to be a little bit more aggressive offensively and help out Jumbo Kid a little bit more than what they were doing yesterday. And I think if they can do that, I think they'll have a great chance at taking the series.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing of why they're playing so defensive is, LAN nerves. They didn't want they did not want to make a mistake. And I think they're warming up a little bit more here. TCV, almost slots to the Yags. Oh, so close. Green guy, good touch there. But like I was saying, I think the LAN nerves they're a little more used to playing on stage in front of a crowd. And I think, they're going to start, picking it up, getting back to what they're normally, what they're used to. As Green guy trying to clear it far. Photonut will get up to that. Gets the demo instead of the touch. Putting it off the backboard. Is anybody there? No, not quite. Now TCV trying to beat Green guy. Gets 50 there, and that is an open net for... he almost got back. Real Robo, great job being mid for that 50 right there. And unfortunately, Team CTM just could not get back to that.
Yeah, again, I think they just got... I don't know if they realize this or not, because I know how Team CTM plays. I know their approach to the game. I don't know if they're very analytical, but I'm noticing that they're being a little bit more aggressive, which is what I mentioned, what they need to do. But as a result of that, they might find themselves double committing a little bit more, as a result of being a little bit more aggressive. And that's what we saw there, was a double commit coming out from both Jumbo Kid and TCV, resulted in an open goal. But with 1 minute to go, Plague is up by 1 goal here. And it looks like Team CTM going to try and answer back, but a great demo coming out from Green guy right on the goal line there. Jumbo Kid gets a nice 50. Yags finds a nice clear here. Looks like Jumbo Kid's going to take over here. Gets a nice touch off the wall. Might have another one. Gets a pop over. Photonut can't find it. And Team CTM strike again. TCV with a great follow up there and a great setup by Jumbo Kid.
Yeah, amazing by Jumbo Kid. And then, like we said, he has help. TCV is there to slam that home, and that is huge and very important to see from Team CTM. As, right now, close games, and I'm really looking forward to see the rest of the series, especially if it stays like this, very close scoring games. So, 30 seconds left, tie game. Photonut trying to put that ball mid, as Team CTM will put it right under one of the players from play. Green guy putting it off the backboard. Is anybody there? Photonut trying to get there, but Jumbo Kid with the great 50, trying to beat Real Robo. Real Robo is sending it off the corner. Can he get the follow-up? Not quite. Is there anybody there to follow it up? Unfortunately, with a little bit of a miss. Now Jumbo Kid, he has an open net here. Can he put it in? With 6 seconds left, he will take the lead for Team CTM in Game 1.
Man, I don't know exactly what happened here from the Plague defense. I feel like maybe Photonut was expecting a third man back or something like that, and there was just nobody there. So I don't know if it was a double commit or a bump or something like that. But Team CTM find an open net here with just so little time left, and now they just have to hold on for a little bit. That's an awkward bounce. Oh, Green guy ends up hitting it over to the side. Can Real Robo keep it up? He cannot. As Team CTM take game number 1 right from under Plague's nose. That was their game, and somehow they let that one get away from them. What a game come from Team CTM.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see. All of Plague is separated by 12 points.
That is true.
And they have 6 points in between the lowest and the middle, and 6 points in between the middle and the highest. So, if that doesn't show how equal this entire team is, it's insane. And both teams, both teams are helping each other. They're getting involved, and that is extremely important throughout the rest of this game. And see if they can keep continuing this.
I did mention something, right? I mentioned, somebody needs to be, we saw TCV and Yags being defensive yesterday. I mentioned that one of them, doesn't matter who, needs to step up and be a little bit more aggressive and help out Jumbo Kid. TCV was able to step up. He scored, slotted a couple great goals, set up by Jumbo Kid there. And just between the two of them, they were able to create so many great opportunities, and let alone being able to capitalize on them, right? And like I said, if Team CTM can continue to do that, where at least one person is supporting Jumbo Kid offensively, I think they have a great chance, and they showed it here.
And Jumbo Kid also has 200% shooting, so I think...
Really?
Yeah, he had 2 goals in 1 shot, so, he's speaking out of his mind. Anyways, the game number 2 underway, and Team CTM trying to pick up where they left off. And one key thing that I want to mention is the defense of Team CTM stepped up a lot. They are not giving up, yesterday giving up close to 5-6 goals a game. They held Plague to 3, they average, Plague averages like 5.5 goals a game, 13 shots. I didn't look at the shots, but I mean, that looks a lot better than what we saw yesterday. And Team CTM, good on them. Almost a team bomb. That would have been catastrophic. But I mean, Team CTM, they're looking a lot better, and hopefully they can keep picking this up as we go on in the series.
I agree, but we are already 40 seconds in here. I've noticed a couple, double commits, quite a few already here in game number 2 coming from Plague. So they got to try and clean up the comms or clean up the rotations a little bit here. But now Real Robo has an opportunity, finds a little touch off the corner here. Green Guy going to hit this one off the corner as well, but Yags is there as a defender, passes it up to Jumbo Kid, who has a great touch off the wall, almost finds another one, maybe going for a center or even a shot there, but Green Guy trying to carry out here. Yags gets a nice touch, but Photonut gets a piece of it here, and now Green Guy just booms this one up the field. TCV doesn't find a touch, but Jumbo Kid is there waiting, and this ground play is so good from Jumbo Kid. And again, that's the no ball cam action that I have happening right there. What great skills coming out from Jumbo Kid, but TCV rings one off the crossbar. Yags gets another shot, and none of these shots finding the back of the net.
See, we talk about the no ball cam a lot, but that is the one huge advantage he has over everybody else is without ball cam. That is where you dribble. You don't dribble with ball cam on. That makes it complete. And you can ask most of the high level players, and if there is a high level player that dribbles with ball cam, they should stop. But most of all high level players don't dribble with ball cam, and I mean you saw there how he completely Robo, what a shot there. I don't quite know what happened.
I think he just kind of caught either, looks like Jumbo Kid doesn't quite get the settle he was looking for there. A little bit of panic on the end of Team CTM's defense, and the Real Robo capitalizes there on that mistake, and well played by him to put his team up 1 here, with the 2 minutes in.
Yeah, and now looking to even the odds right now, Team CTM trying to put another goal in, but Green Guy pushing it the other way. Yags going into the corner. Gets it around 1. Trying to get it around to 2nd. Jumbo Kid and Yags pushing at the same time. Now Jumbo Kid puts it mid. Yags doesn't quite get the touch he wants. And now it goes into the opposite corner. Real Robo trying to push it out from there. But TCV will be aggressive and push that. But Green Guy will send it out the other way. Real Robo trying to put it mid. And he does put it high. That's on net. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, you can see Jumbo Kid's cams. He's got his, his face in his hands there. An unfortunate touch, but I mean, honestly, a great touch by Real Robo. That pop it was just so dangerous and so effective. It made Team CTM panic, and as a result of that, they get maybe not a freebie by any means, but a great opportunity there as Photonut, who he's kind of slowed down a little bit here, into game number 2 already. He had a couple great shots to start out in game number 1, but ever since then he's kind of been quiet. Haven't called his name too much here, and now TCV gets a nice touch over Green Guy. Yags going to challenge as well, but Real Robo does get a piece of it. This is going to bounce awkwardly. Photonut's on the backboard, finds a little bit of a touch on it, but Real Robo able to collect that one and get a nice 50 over into this orange end here as TCV looks to try and get this one back in the blue end. Photonut gets a touch up in the air, might have another one, gets a 50 with Jumbo Kid. Yags can't get a touch on the balls. Real Robo clears this one out, but TCV with a great defensive touch over to that corner.
Yeah, and that was very dangerous right there. I almost thought Plague had an opportunity to get a 3rd goal there. But Photonut, as you said, I mean, a little quieter, and now he's going to try to put it in the net, but can't quite get it around Yags. Real Robo getting a touch out mid, and now Yags up, getting beat by Green Guy. Green Guy going to try to put it mid, but will opt to take the boost instead. Photonut off the backboard. Is anybody there? Real Robo, unfortunately, can't get it on net. And now Yags going around the corner, but Photonut stops him there, keeping the pressure on Team CTM. And now Real Robo will have to collect from his own side. Popping it up high, getting it around 1, but TCV and Yags will be there. And now Green Guy putting it right back in Team CTM's half, and I mean, the offense starts right back up for Plague, and this is where it gets extremely, extremely dangerous for Team CTM.
Yeah, with 50 seconds to go, Plague has the advantage here. You're not letting up the aggression offensively, which is a good thing. You don't want to just start giving them space unnecessarily. As an awkward touch here from TCV, Green Guy's there, gets a weird little double touch off of the wall there, but doesn't end up getting that one mid. Yags gets a nice pop up high, kind of cutting off the that play or the Team CTM attack here, but TCV keeps this one in. He's going to ring this one off the backboard. It might be there, but nobody to follow up on that one. TCV going to try and get a nice touch away from the goal here. Jumbo Kid gets a nice follow-up. He does have some boost here. Steals the corner boost here. Photonut, though, gets a nice touch on the corner. Green Guy puts it center, and it almost dimes up Jumbo Kid, but a great save coming out from Plague. And it looks like with that save, that might seal the deal here. And I think it will, as this clock does hit 0. And Plague gonna take game number 1 or game number 2 here, their first win of the series.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to highlight is, you know, like you said, Jumbo Kid doesn't have ball cam, but honestly, his awareness to like know what is happening in the play is actually incredible, and it's one of the best like awareness I've seen from like any player. Especially knowing that he does not have ball cam on, like just props to him for having just that insane awareness and knowing what's happening in the play at all times.
For anybody that does not play Rocket League, it is so hard at any level of Rocket, or almost every level of Rocket League, to track the ball without ball cam, to know where the ball is. I've talked to Jumbo Kid before. He plays based off of like the little arrow that pops up on his screen, and then like that little circle that pops up on the floor. You know,
Yep.
That's how he plays. That's how he gets his awareness. And once you kind of learn, you know, how all that stuff works, he's just kind of been making it work. So.
And one thing I do want to highlight right quick on these stats is 5 shots from Plague, 6 from Team CTM. Team CTM is slowing Plague down because they average 13 shots a game. But they have 5 in this game. So they're doing a good job slowing them down, but they just need to convert some of their opportunities. And, I mean, also not let those little shots go in.
Right, and Real Robo just had such a great game there. You know, that's really what it came down to. Real Robo was just there for a couple of mistakes from Team CTM. He was able to capitalize. And Real Robo was really the reason for that, for that win right there. Other than those couple opportunities, there really wasn't much for Plague. So, props to Real Robo to putting his team on his back there in that game number 2. But we are into game number 3 now. The series is tied 1-1. Both of these teams gonna try and keep the pressure up here as TCV and Jumbo Kid do double commit a little bit here, but TCV able to get behind that ball, get the 50 on Green Guy. But Green Guy does recollect here, get a nice touch towards this orange net. And already, I'm noticing this pressure from Plague.
Yeah, but as you said, that Jumbo Kid puts a nice Yanks put a nice shot in that. My bad. I thought that was Jumbo Kid that cut that, but no. Yanks. What a great hook shot right there. Putting it right in the back of the net, giving Team CTM another lead in this series. As 30 seconds in, already, up 1-0, looking good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like you said, Yags with a great hook shot there. Those are harder than you think to hit. Those open net shots are very key. If you have somebody on your team that can slot those, it's going to be huge. As Yags himself gets another good touch in the corner, but Photonut gets a lighter touch. And again, TCV and Jumbo Kid, they need to start figuring out their comms a little bit here, because that's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen the 2 of those guys double commit. So they got to try and figure that one out here in the series, as TCV now does get a nice touch off the wall, trying to get some offense going, but Photonut shuts that one down. But Jumbo Kid with a great pop over him, gets another touch over another, might make it happen, gets a 3rd pop. Oh, yay, can't finish it.
Oh, this is dangerous now, though. Real Robo has a little bit of a fast break opportunity. Green Guy trying to put it on net, and Yags unfortunately can't get that save. And that is extremely unfortunate. The backflip coming out from TCV just kind of left the net a little open, and then, Yags just couldn't get back in time to make a good save. Yeah, it was just a great, high-speed counterattack there from Plague. It's hard to, recollect. You're just on offense, right? And you have to transition so fast back to defense. Definitely a hard play to make defense. Team CTM Jumbo Kid has a shot opportunity, rings it off the crossbar. Yags rings one off the crossbar as well. This crossbar is doing work right now for this Plague team. And what a play, actually, coming from Green Guy. I think he actually faked out that defender. I'm not going to lie. He was in front of that ball, maybe. Oh, he bumps Jumbo Kid. That's what it was. I thought he faked him out, but a great team play coming out from Plague. What a bump coming from Green Guy. Yeah, and that's just another opportunity that Team CTM had and turned into a counterattack instantly.
Yep.
And Team CTM, you're getting the opportunities. You're in a 3v4 right now, because the crossbar just is completely against you.
Yeah. So again, I think Team CTM, they just need to, maybe they're getting some very good opportunities, as Real Robo with a great aerial there gets another goal here for Plague, putting his team up 2 now. Just a few short minutes here into game number 3, and Real Robo he has been playing out of his mind here in this losers finals match. I mean, seriously, he's been playing so well, and he's been one of the main goal scorers here for his team, which I wouldn't have called that to coming into this, but he's been stepping it up, which is great to see.
Yeah, and he looks, the whole team of play looks extremely good right now as TCV trying to put it on that. But Real Robo, what a great touch there as Yags putting it off the corner. Is anybody mid? Jumbo Kid is there, and then he will cut the lead in half. I mean, great pass here by Yags off the corner. Jumbo Kid just read the play perfectly and slotted that right behind
both
the players.
players.
Yeah, right behind both the players.
Yeah,
And
just honestly a great play there. Like you said, Yags, like you said, gets a nice. That's one thing that I think one of his in his skill set, in his bag, he loves those little hook shots. That's the second time we've seen that has worked so well for his team.
What a pre-jump.
Real Robo gets a great free jump there. And I'm going to say it again, Real Robo, he's been stepping it up, which is great to see.
He's playing honestly out of his mind right now. It was another touch off. Does he have a double?
No way.
That looked like it might have been on net too if he would have gotten that touch. That ball is still in Team CTM's half, still extremely dangerous. As now Real Robo once again going for another touch on net. What a shot! But TCV is back. Green guy getting 50 by Jumbo Kid. Now, is there anybody there for Team CTM? No, they're just a little slow to that. As Yang will have to collect on defense. Robo not able to quite get it past the Team CTM defense, and now Green guy trying to set the counter attack once again, passing to Photonut. Photonut taking it a little slow, doesn't have quite enough boost to do anything with it. And now Green guy just getting bumped everywhere in that corner. And then he opts to leave it. Now Real Robo pass to Green guy. Green guy showed a shot.
Oh!
Net. Real Robo. He's so close. And now Photonut trying to clean up. Can't quite do it. Real Robo turns back in to get the ball mid. Is anybody there? Green guy is there. What a shot.
There we go.
What a team play by Plague.
That is the Green guy that I've been waiting to see. Those, consistent, high power shots. There's not many people in Division D that can get, that amount of power on those aerials like that. And I've been looking for Green guy to get those more and more throughout the series, and finally we do see it. I was about to say the next time I got to speak was, Green guy's gonna he already shut me up. I'm looking at Photonut and Green guy to have oh my goodness, what a shot from Real Robo once again. Is that a hat trick?
He's playing out, I don't know if it is, but he is playing out of his mind.
What a shot. That's that's a Renzik level shot right there.
You would not expect to see him, and if I told you he was the second pick, you would not expect that at all. With how good he is playing. His aerials out of his mind. He almost had that insane, corner read, which I can't even do that.
There's not many people like that.
Almost is gonna go in again. And TCTM is just getting peppered by Plague right now.
Yeah, again, I didn't even realize, how many goals Plague has. That is their sixth goal here in game number 3 now. I didn't even realize how much they ran away with this one. So Team CTM, their focus needs to be now to try and recollect the mental, and how can you bounce back, in game number 4? Because right now, this Plague offense is starting to fire on all cylinders. I don't know if it's a change that Plague has made, or if it's more of a play or a change that Team CTM has made defensively. So they need to try and recollect, reset your mental, and come back, go next in game number 4.
Yeah, and what it might be is Plague was just warming up in games, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And with how good this Plague team is, and we saw the stats earlier, 5.5 goals per game, 13.5 shots per game. That is extremely scary to see. Now, Photonut can't quite get that on net, unfortunately, but that's extremely scary to see the offensive capabilities this Plague team could have. And we see it right now, 2-6. Plague, it just absolutely lit the back of the net up. And I just don't really know what more to say about it, but they're just out of their mind. CTM. That's so unfortunate.
Finally, we get to call Photonut's name. I think that's his first goal here in quite some time. So hopefully, maybe that opens up the floodgates for him. But again, I'm going to say it one more time. Team CTM, they need to try and recollect. And maybe I would even look to maybe even take your time out after this one. A loss like this, it's an option. I could see it.
I could see it losing 2 in a row, especially this fashion. 2 in a row.
Yes.
I could 100% see it, and especially if another goal goes in, I would 100% take the time out. Just try to, even if it's just trying to ice Plague, because, they are Oh, it's so close. They're absolutely on fire right now.
Yeah, again, so Team CTM, they need to try. They need to try and just like I said, just reset, go next. But Plague starting to fire in all cylinders here. We see all members contributing here on offense. We have Green Guy getting the hat trick, Photonut with a couple, Real Robo with a couple. Every member doing quite a bit here on their team, on this team. But again, I'm going to say his name again, Real Robo. He's honestly been the standout player, and honestly, so far my MVP, for this series so far. And seriously, it's just been so cool to see him step up. And like you said, it's crazy to think that he was the second pick, right?
Yeah.
If you would have thrown this game in front of me with no knowledge of anybody, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that.
No, and like I've said, Plague is so well rounded. All their players, they do what they need to, and they're always supporting each other. And look at the shots, just 11 shots for Plague. And then coming out of that, they had 7 goals? I think 7 goals.
Yeah, 7.
So 11 shots, 7 goals. I mean, that's insane shooting percentage, one. But it's just how much Plague is on offense. And we do take a timeout. Team CTM will take the timeout.
I can't tell if it's like an actual timeout or if it's a technical timeout. I do see a couple guys over on the side of Team CTM trying to figure stuff out over there. So it looks like more of just like an actual timeout to me. So it looks like Team CTM does take it as Plague take game number 2 in a row here. Looks like Team CTM going to try and just, like you said, ice Plague out a little bit here, try and stop some of this momentum. And again, it's just what if Plague is going to continue playing like this, what do you do as Team CTM? What do you change? And I think a lot of it just comes down to, again, we didn't see almost any opportunities from Team CTM offensively in that game number 3.
We saw them.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, we saw them early. We saw them early in the game, and that's when they got those 2 counterattack goals, and that really, I think, might have killed the mental of Team CTM.
Yeah.
Because they had 2 opportunities, both ring off the crossbar, and then Plague is just able to get 2. I'm not gonna say, I don't want to say free goals, but they were pretty easy.
Right.
So I mean, that could have killed the mental for Team CTM, and honestly, just keep playing how you were playing before that.
Right.
Because you guys they looked good. It's just playing then. They started firing, and you gave them momentum, and they're going to take the momentum, and they're going to keep going with it. So
again, you already mentioned it. It's like it comes down to the mental. I think it was that, right? If you're Team CTM, you need to reset and go next. And come on, boys. I mean, it's just you got to go next. You get fired up again, get your mental back, get that momentum, and don't let Plague run away with this one.
Yeah, I'm here for the interesting series. I want the long haul. I want the game 7. And Jumbo Kid already trying to fire the crossbar once again, unfortunately. But Jumbo Kid already on offense. Team CTM coming out with a fire. And he's keeping it in the offensive half. Trying to get another touch. Won't get it quite over Photonut. Photonut sending it to the opposite corner. And now Jumbo Kid will get a great touch, but Green Guy will read that. It's going to go straight down. And will they be able to read it? Not quite. Now Jumbo Kid will get the touch out to the corner. As TCV trying to collect it from there. Photonut will try to challenge. Doesn't quite make contact with the ball. And now Jumbo Kid out of his own corner. Getting 50 by Green Guy. And Jumbo Kid will send it high. Real Robo. He's so consistent with his aerials. And he has the almost the double as well. Photonut will slot that in.
Man.
Great pass by Real Robo. And so consistent in the air. He looks so good in the air.
I don't know what he does, but for anybody that doesn't play Rocket League, if you don't hit the ball when you go for aerials like that, if you're not air rolling, and if you don't hit the ball in like the perfect spot, hitting the ball in the air is going to send your car in weird places. It didn't even budge. When he hit that ball, his car didn't even budge, and he's been doing that so much without even air rolling or anything like that. His car control is just honestly looks very, very good for what was expected. But
what a bump!
What a bump coming up from the Team CTM, and Jumbo Kid able to capitalize there. Yags, I think that was with the bump. Perfect team play coming up from Team CTM, and just good stuff. You love to see that if you're Team CTM fan.
And going back to what we were talking right before we were talking about the aerials, and the one thing that I'm noticing is Real Robo, he knows where he's gonna hit the ball too, and
he has intentions.
Yeah, he puts the ball where he wants it. Because you've seen a couple of times now where he's put it off the wall or the corner, and he's almost been able to follow it up and get a double. And you don't see that much. You don't even see that much in high-level Rocket League, let alone down in Division D. And he's stepping up huge, and it's great that Plague is firing, and Team CTM, they have a tall task ahead of them.
Right. Again, I don't think if you're Team CTM, you're expecting to have to shut down a guy like Real Robo. But this guy's been an absolute menace. This Photo Nut has a good opportunity, tries to put that one top shelf, and rings one again off the crossbar. So many. We got to get a crossbar counter for this series. There's been so many. Yeah, where's Chief Nick when you need him? That's true. But Green Guy gets a nice center, but Jumbo Kid off the back post there gets a nice clear out here. He's going to continue out. Photo Nut tries to bump him. Does get a small touch, but it does not matter. But Real Robo, it's a great defensive touch here as Photo Nut tries to clear out. Ends up hitting it straight down into Yags. A double commit coming out, but TCV is a little bit awkward there as second man. And now Green Guy gets a great 50. Real Robo might be there, but Green Guy is faster. Just ends up taking it himself. The Yags puts this one off into the corner. Jumbo Kid does have the boost. The no ball cam aerial, go up for it. And not able to find it there, but looking a little bit awkward on both sides. Jumbo Kid just being a menace. I don't know how he still had 60 boost after that whole aerial, but crazy stuff coming from him. But we're already halfway through this game number 4, and now we are tied. Game number 3 was a complete wash, 7-2, but now we are tied. Hopefully I don't caster curse this, but Team CTM looking a little bit better here and a little bit more aggressive. They had, like you said, they have more of a fire in their eyes here in this game number 4.
Yeah, and both TCV and Yags right there did elect to leave that. Jumbo Kid getting a touch, and now he has to beat Photo Nut. Ball will go into his own corner. And now Real Robo gonna get a pinch out. It's gonna go straight down. That's so dangerous. What a pass. Oh, so close. And now Jumbo Kid will try to do a little bit of counterattack. But unfortunately his teammates just aren't behind him, and that's on net. Oh, Photo Nut, what a shot. And the biggest thing there is he just didn't have a second man. Both his teammates kind of turned off, went for boost maybe, and then Photo Nut was just able to collect the free ball. Put a beautiful shot on that, and Yags just couldn't get back to it.
Yeah, that was definitely close. Yags almost makes a great diving save off the backboard there. But like you said, unfortunately, just barely out of reach. And I want to mention it one more time. I sound like a broken record. But, like, I think what it comes down to for the Real Robo is not only, oh my goodness, what a great slot there from Green Guy. Puts his team up 2 goals now with just a minute 50 left. But I want to say, I'll stop the glaze after this one. But the Real Robo, he's just so, like, he does everything he does has intentions, and he's just a smart player. You can tell by the way he plays that he's like everything that he's doing is so intentional. And like you said, as a Division A player, I sometimes get in the loop of just hitting the ball with no intention and stuff like that. But you can tell that everything that Real Robo is doing is very calculated, and it's awesome to see. And honestly, I'd love to see him step it up here out on LAN.
Yeah, an extremely smart player, and you love to see, the different types of players in every division, because, everybody has different play styles. You have, the strikers, you have Remzik being able to slot the ball in the back of the net from literally anywhere. You have the people that get thousands of demos a game, like Blasky and Toves, and then you have the great team players, and right now, the great team players, Real Robo right now, you see that beautifully, and he's going to keep going. Green Guy, another really great shot on net. TCB is back, though. Now Real Robo putting the ball up high, getting it over 1. Little off net, though. Can't quite follow that up. And now Photo Nut gets it to Green Guy. Green Guy putting it around the corner as Yags trying to get it out, but can't quite do it. TCB and Yags trying to have a combined effort. Now Green Guy putting it up high. Is Photo Nut able to capitalize? Can't quite off that corner. Real Robo back off the corner. Pressure is starting to accumulate here for Plague, but now Jumbo Kid will try to get it out, but it's put right back into his own half. Ooh, a little bit of a backflip from Green Guy, and now Photo Nut off the wall, getting another touch high. Is anybody there to follow it up? Real Rebel can't quite get the touch. And now Photo Nut with the back pass to Green Guy. Green Guy following it up, getting dunked by Jumbo Kid though. Photo Nut trying to get it out, but can't quite get it around Team CTM. Jumbo Kid gets it to TCV. TCV, they need 2 goals in 5 seconds, and that ball just went clear to their own corner. So unfortunately for Team CTM, Plague will go on match point, and they will have 3 games to take this.
Yeah, unfortunately, no more timeout for Team CTM, but I honestly support their use of the timeout earlier. And
7 shots by Photo Nut alone.
Yeah,
wow.
Photo Nut. We didn't say his name too much there, but again, I think he's been one of the main aggressors. In my opinion, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, but Photo Nut has kind of been that first man here in this series.
No, 100%.
Just going in, being super speedy, and just kind of laying on that pressure, just being kind of a monkey.
Yeah. Honestly, I could say right now, Photo Nut 1, Green Guy 2, Real Robo 3.
Yeah, 100%. yeah, Photonut does a great job at setting up those opportunities, just getting the ball onto the other half, finding demos, bumps, shots, whatever it is. And then Green Guy is such a good second man with his shooting ability, stuff like that. He's able to, what shots and what opportunities that Photonut does create, Green Guy is there to capitalize. And honestly, the system that Plague has is just working so well right now.
Yeah, and Team CTM, they are on their last life, the last game. Like, you lose this, you are done. You are not playing with this team unless you get redrafted to the same team. You will not play with this team again.
At least in DCRL.
In DCRL, you can play.
Yeah.
But in a competitive, DCRL, competitive DCRL atmosphere, you will not be playing with them again. So it's do or die now. Put everything on the table. Don't hold anything back. Just send it. As Jumbo Kid trying for the aerial right here. Oh, can't get it past the real Robo. And now Photonut going along the wall, getting it around Yags, trying to get it in the mid. Can't quite get the pass. Real Robo going to go off the corner of the net. And now a counterattack opportunity maybe mounting here for Team CTM. But I think one of the biggest things Team CTM has to do is support when they have those counterattack opportunities. Because one player will clear it, and then the other two will just leave and go for boost. And I think that is the one thing that is really hurting Team CTM.
When we saw Team CTM succeed, when we saw Team CTM get that, the one goal, the one game win that they do have, it was because they had at least two people being aggressive and had a great, second man rotations and stuff like that. And I feel like ever since then, maybe it's because of, Plague stepped it up, kicked it into gear a little bit, and maybe it's been a little bit hard to play the same way. But again, we just haven't seen that since that game win from Team CTM. So hopefully they can keep up that second man aggression. It doesn't mean that we should be, double committing and stuff like that, but it's more of being able to read the play as second man, know when you should push up, know when you should support. And again, I'm looking at TCV or Yags because Jumbo Kid's been doing a great job as first man to try and get that ball out. And hopefully they can try and find that here in game number 5.
Yeah, and the pass up there almost worked out. And it honestly looks like they're afraid of the Plague offense. They just want to get the ball out, get boost, and then it looks like they're preparing for the next onslaught. Because,
oh my goodness.
Close. And in theory, if you just want to, you're not going to be able to win games if you just sit on defense, especially with a team like Play that is able to just send shot after shot after shot after shot on net. You're not going to be able to sustain that for long.
Right. I was liking that little offensive pressure there that Team CTM had. There's some good follow-ups. Weren't able to capitalize, but I'm glad to see the opportunities there for Team CTM. But now this ball does find itself in this orange end as TCV trying to get this one out, but Green Guy reads it off the wall. This might be dangerous. It's bouncing above the goal, and TCV has no boost. It's so awkward. Real Robo tries to capitalize. Green Guy, though, waiting patiently, rings the I thought it was going off the crossbar, but it just a little bit of a chip shot there. Finds itself into the top shelf, and that was just so awkward there from Team CTM. Green Guy with a perfect shot. TCV has no boost to get up to that one, and all of a sudden, you are down a goal now. You're on your last game life. What do you do here to try and regain? It's going to be hard, but it's up to them to do it.
Yeah, and the reason it didn't go off the crossbar is what a shot by Yags. But the reason it didn't go off the crossbar is because remember the crossbar's on Blake's team.
Oh yeah.
Remember, yeah. But no, great passing play by all 3 members of Team CTM. Putting it back. Now it's just half the game left. 2.5 minutes. It's tied. Anything can happen now. And Team CTM, they got to keep that offensive pressure up. That is the only way they're going to win this game is staying on offense and hopefully slowing, if maybe stopping Plague's, their offense. But I don't see them completely stopping it. But just at least slowing it down will help. As Real Robo can't quite get it over Jumbo Kid and Yags.
Oh my goodness!
Just slams that top left corner. That was honestly kind of rude, but what a shot right over Jumbo Kid. Beautiful.
Yeah, just a great. He got up nice and early there, beats out Jumbo Kid, who wasn't able to get a touch on the ball, and was just what Team CTM do still have 2 minutes left to go here in game number 5. But Plague have just been laying it on with no signs of stopping. Green Guy almost there for the capitalization. Photonut gets that one center. Real Robo is there. And that one is just free, and Real Robo puts his team up 3-1 here with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and you're starting to see in the cams a little bit of the
Yeah, you want that one back a little bit.
Like a little bit of disappointment. And I mean,
Gotta try and regain though. There's still 2 minutes, boys. There's
Two
still 2
minutes?
minutes. You gotta go next year. It's not over.
minute a goal, so possible. And it's...
Oh man, oh man. Yeah, that one just gets pinched off of the wall from the back end over there. The real Robo just gets a great 50 there. And Plague capitalized once again. And they get up 4-1 with a minute 52. It's like I said, it's still not over for Team CTM. If they can try and regain here, don't let this one get too far away. As Jumbo Kid might be able to get over, but he can't. TCV now with the follow-up. Gets a 50 on Photonut. Yiggs does read that one off the sidewall, keeping it in, but no follow-up as of right now. Real Robo gets an awkward touch, but Photonut comes in and cleans up there. And with a minute and 30 left, Team CTM needs something very soon here.
Yeah. A little bit of a team bump coming out, but now Photonut has to play on defense. Nobody there to follow it up from CTM. And Jumbo Kid gets the pass back as TCV will put it back in the corner. Jumbo Kid off the wall. Doesn't have boost to follow this up, and Green Guy putting it straight down. Robo can't get quite the read. Photonut, what a great save coming off TCV's shot. And now Photonut will beat the first one to the next one. Jumbo Kid getting it over, and now Green Guy putting it back on the offensive half for Plague, and that is an open net, and Green Guy so close. That was a pretty difficult shot. I'm gonna give him that, but Photonut's just gonna clean it up because it's Photonut.
Yeah. I mean, with the 54 seconds to go, Plague up 5-1 now, and like I said, Team CTM, I think they've just been a little bit deflated since that third goal here in game number 5. Again, it's still not completely over. We're not going to write them off yet. A couple kickoff goals, a couple quick goals here can change a lot of the momentum. But again, Plague has just been playing so well. All members throughout different parts of the series have been doing so well. And seriously, it's just hard to beat at this level. So huge props to them.
Yeah, and Real Robo can't quite get another goal in. 35 seconds left. Team CTM, they still have life, but they have to have a miracle.
Yeah.
And every time that ball gets boomed up high, more and more life just gets drained out of this Team CTM team. 20 seconds left. It's very hard, especially when you're still on your own half. So it's looking like this is about to be over, unfortunately, for Team CTM. Their playoff will end here, unfortunately. And now for Plague, they have to look forward to Distortion, which Distortion looked unbelievable yesterday. So Plague have a tall task still.
Yeah, but Plague are your winners here, ladies and gentlemen, in the losers final bracket. They knock out Team CTM out of contention here, and they punch their ticket for grand finals here. We're going to have a Distortion versus Plague now in the grand finals, which is going to be a great matchup. Two very offensively minded teams, so I think it's going to be a slugfest in the Division D grand finals. But great game from both of these teams. Team CTM, they had a great season. I think they were one of those sleeper, dark horses of this league, and they do get what is that? That puts them third place,
yes.
Right? So that is, they make third place. I mean, nonetheless, it's a great season coming from them. So I mean, honestly, props to both of these teams. But again, Plague does take the dub here, and like I said, punches their ticket to grand finals.
And we will see them after we run through our Division C, B, and A losers finals. We'll see them as the first grand finals match. And I mean, all the players on Plague played unbelievable. We talked about it throughout the whole series, how, I mean, all these players just a complete domination. And with seeing how good Distortion played yesterday and seeing how good Plague played today, it's going to be close. It's going to be extremely close, and if any team is going to be able to bracket reset, I think it's going to be Plague.
Yeah, we were talking about this, behind the scenes before even before this whole LAN event even happened. We had 2 number 1 seeds in the lower bracket, right? Mm-hmm. And if any team is going to have the best probability of completing a bracket reset, it's going to be a number 1 seed in the losers bracket. And you just mentioned it. Unfortunately, yesterday Dragons was the other number 1 seed in Division A who get knocked out. So Plague is the last number 1 seed in the losers bracket. Like I said, if anybody's going to be able to do it, I think it is going to be this Plague team. So if they're going to continue to play like they were today, all members firing on all cylinders, if they can step it up into gear, especially if we see the real Robo, do what he was doing, It's going to be absolutely fantastic to see. So huge props to them. But thank you for joining me on the Caster's Desk, Aqua. I think we're going to go to a short intermission here before we do a players interview. So hang with us and we'll be right back.
Danger, no lights, the dark entertainer. Clouds then puff, dissipate in the laser. We can glow sparks, enough art to blaze ya. Listen up, walking through the tunnel and it's danger. No lights, the dark entertainer. Clouds then puff, dissipate in the laser. We can glow sparks, enough art to blaze ya. Listen up.
Yeah, from the cradle to the urn. They tried to tell me exercise, my patience, wait my turn. Big concern when these pagans finna learn. What a journey. Paradigm shift, but people back to watch it burn. Man, a renegade, vagrant to the core. Pollution at its peak, watch the nature settle scores. Ignition level 20, fuck a penny for your thoughts. For the many, not the few, 4% a thing of law.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, the real Robo here on the winner's interview with me. I'm just going to start off by saying what a banger of a series. I mean, I've casted a couple of your games now. I've been able to watch, a couple of your series, and I'm not going to say that you played bad by any means in any of those series, but this series in specific, it seemed like maybe I'm just tripping, but you stepped it into a different gear. You were going for some crazy shots. I mean, in your opinion, is that kind of what was happening? What was happening today that was different from before?
I just felt more confident, so I just went for more brave moves.
Love that. I mean, seriously, we were talking about how it seemed like every touch that you were getting had intention, right? That's a thing that a lot of players, even as a Division A player, I do that sometimes, where I just get caught in the loop of just hitting the ball, just hit the ball with no intention. Then it seemed like at least 90% of your shots had intention. You were hitting the ball where you wanted it to, and it was working. I mean, seriously, you were just slotting the ball. So, question for you now. So you guys punched your ticket to grand finals, so huge congratulations for that. Are you confident in bracket resetting Distortion?
Yes.
Yeah? I mean, what was the result of that in the regular season? What was that series like? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't know if any of his team members can help me out here. What was the results of Distortion versus your guys' team? Yeah. You won that? Okay. You were undefeated.
Yeah, we won, but I don't know the score.
But yeah, it's going to be super interesting to see because from an outside perspective, you have your guys' team playing. You guys were very dominant, right? But you also have Distortion, who has been stepping it up immensely. They've shown great improvement. I mean, obviously they're in the upper bracket, right? They're undefeated. Yep. They have 2 lives left to have in the upper bracket, so it's not a fluke. You guys are both so offensively minded, so I really do think it's going to come down to who can stop that offensive pressure on either team.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have any sort of game plan and any sort of stuff like that you have in mind for this team, or is it just kind of go in, feel it out, and figure it out as you go?
We'll just play with confidence and see how it goes.
That's definitely what you can do, is just play with confidence, stuff like that. We definitely saw that from you guys here today. But again, I don't have much else for you. So huge congratulations, both you and your team. Punch your ticket to grand finals. I mentioned if any team is going to be able to do a bracket reset between all the divisions, it is this one right here. I think a lot of people were predicting this. So again, huge congratulations. But I think that will do it for a small little interview here. So thank you for joining me on the desk, and we will see you later today for grand finals.
All right, see ya.